Hey everyone, welcome to Aimetry AI. I'm Nima, and this is the only AI introduction video you'll ever need to see. By the end of this video, I'm going to equip you with everything you need to begin making AI work for you. So let's get started. I'm going to walk through what it's like to work in the current modern day and age. Then we're going to take a glimpse into what it's going to be like in the future of work, which is coming very soon. And then we'll dive a little bit into how AI works under the hood. I'll introduce our AAA AI framework that you can use to implement AI immediately. And then we'll talk about some next steps, some action items that you can take right after watching this quick video. So what if you could leave work every day having completed your most important tasks, not just your most urgent ones, and have your calendar automatically schedule meetings? What if you had an assistant who could instantly summarize a 50-page report, draft your routine emails, and prepare you for every single meeting, then summarize the takeaways immediately after? This is not a fantasy. It's actually the new reality of our work, and is closer than you think. Right now, most of our days are spent on work for the sake of work. We're buried in emails, hunting for information, stuck in a repetitive task that drains our energy and our creativity. The average, this kind of blew my mind, but the average professional spends over 2 hours a day just searching for the information they need to do their actual job. We're busy, yes, but are we really being productive with our time? We're reacting all day instead of creating. I'll ask you a question. How many repetitive tasks do you perform at work every day? Probably a lot. How much of your day are you spending on creative, long-term strategic thinking or relationship building? Probably too little. The goal with this AI revolution is to decrease the time you spend on repetitive tasks and increase the time you spend on long-term strategic thinking and relationship building. So there is a Mark Twain quote that says, "History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes." And this video is actually an AI generated video, which I'll play from the start. This is the Industrial Revolution. And the analogy here is what the Industrial Revolution did for physical labor, the current AI revolution is doing for intellectual labor. So let me show you an example of what I mean here. So at my work, I work at a large public company where we have access to this tool called Microsoft Copilot. And what it is essentially is AI embedded into different Microsoft applications, such as email and Teams. Teams is kind of like Zoom, where you have meetings with different people in the company. So let's look at what AI allows you to do with emails. So here, if you just go and click on a button that says summarize, it takes your entire email chain and gives a brief summary that you can see here with links to different sort of references in that email chain. So now you don't even have to read your emails or interact with it anymore. In fact, you can do this with your entire inbox every single morning. Have an AI give you a brief little summary of all the emails that you received from yesterday. Also, when you have a meeting, you no longer need to take notes. The AI does it for you. All you have to do is be present in the conversation. And when the meeting ends, you're going to have a summary, you're going to have notes, and you're going to have your tasks to follow up with automatically written for you by the AI platform. So this is currently how I work in my day-to-day job. And this is how the world is starting to work as well. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now, there's also prompt engineering. And this is when you interact with large language models like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Gemini. If you have played with any of the ones that I mentioned, you most likely have prompt engineered something. And so prompt engineering is the skill of sending a message to these AI models in a way that makes them respond effectively to you. And this is actually probably going to be an entire area of study in the future, where students going into university can choose to study in the field of prompt engineering, because this is the skill you need to create AI workflows, AI agents, etc. I can get a little bit more detailed into prompt engineering in one of the videos coming up, but if you'd like a really good prompt engineering guide by Google, I'm going to link it down in the description. And if you post a comment, I'd be more than happy to go a little bit of a deep dive into what it means to be a great prompt engineer. Now, if you want to think about where ChatGPT really started, it goes back to a 2017 scientific publication named Attention is All You Need, published by researchers from Google and the University of Toronto. And this paper introduced a new architecture of neural networks that's called the transformer. And to make the long story short, everybody knows what ChatGPT is, but few people actually know what the GPT stands for. And it actually stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. And transformer being the architecture under the hood of the neural network. It's effectively how the brain of these models works. And if you're interested in hearing more from the people who effectively created this AI revolution, some would call the godfather of AI himself, Geoffrey Hinton. He's been going on some podcasts that are absolutely fascinating to listen to. So I'll post some of them in the description so you can hear from his perspective about what's going on with the world of AI. So how do you bridge the gap between today's work and what the future looks like? Well, you start by thinking about your work in a new way. So here's the simple framework that we call the AAA of AI readiness. Automate, accelerate, augment. First, automate the tedious. What is the repetitive, low-skill tasks that are draining your day? This is like copying and pasting data, transcribing notes, filling out the same form over and over again. These are the perfect candidates to hand off completely to your AI copilot. The goal of automation is to eliminate work. Step 2 is to accelerate the necessary. So this is the second part, where you ask, what are the essential but time-consuming parts of my job? Drafting a routine contract, creating a first draft presentation, or summarizing a long document. You still provide the strategy and the final approval, but the AI gives you a 90% head start. The goal of acceleration is to conquer time. Thirdly, augment your genius. So here's where you ask, finally, where do I wish I had a brilliant brainstorming partner? This is about using AI to see hidden patterns in complex data, generate creative strategies, or challenge your own assumptions. And AI here is not doing the work for you. It's making you better at your best work. The goal of augmentation is to expand your capability. So your first step is to pick one task from that first category, just one. What's the most tedious thing you do all week? That will be your starting point. Now, having covered the AAA framework, you have everything that you need to become an AI-enabled individual or an AI-enabled business. Now, this process starts with an extensive discovery phase where you gather the data you need to run the AAA framework. From there, you identify the automations and the potential AI agents. And I can talk about AI agents later on in a more in-depth video, which sort of deserves its own topic. But you put those into action. The final step is building a lean AI and automation team that would manage and expand these systems over time. Everything I'm sharing here is meant to give you the tools to succeed on your own. You don't need me or anybody else to start applying this framework. Of course, if you like expert guidance, my team does work with businesses directly, but my goal with these videos is simple: to share the playbook openly so you have no excuse not to start making AI work for you.